go. All right. Yeah, you're so beloved, sir. Look at that. We got people already welcoming David. How sweet, isn't it?
That it is.
It's nice to be loved. To be loved. Shut the fuck up. Was that Coming to America?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
How's your week been?
Oh, it's long, tiring.
Yeah.
I'm up all night, try to sleep and see family in between, and it's as long as a week. But
how is the family doing?
Everybody's good. Everybody's real good. Kids are starting school on tomorrow, and somehow Lindsay and I are going to work our way through this because everybody's going to be sitting at the kitchen table. Since there's 4 of them, they're going to each have their Chromebook and headphones, and they're going to have their space dividers, and they got all their stuff. And
look at how experienced you're going to be already using Zoom and all kinds of stuff already.
Yeah, well, that's what they're using Zoom for school, so it should be interesting, but I think they'll be fine with it. In general, I think they're happy to go back, or at least see somebody else other than the 4 of themselves and their mom and I. So I think they'll be okay with it. How are you and your family?
Hot. It's Arizona for you, man. Hot. Today should be a nice. Today will be cool. Today's gonna be a cool day, actually. Today's gonna be nice. Should be about 109.
Jesus. We've been having a hot flash here too. It's been about 103 up to about 107 the last 10 days, and it's going to continue to be that way for a while longer.
I mean, it's chilly right now. It's 99 outside right now. So it's it's all kind of borderline short pants weather.
Right. Oh, short pants.
Yeah. But today should be a high of 107. My bad. Okay. But on the flip side, the low will be 84.
I wish.
That'll be about
84.
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'd be happy with 84 year round, but I live in Bakersfield, which is basically the desert, and you do live in the desert, so we're not going to see that kind of weather.
And I used to live in the desert in California too. I was in San Bernardino County out there. Pretty much. I was east River Styx. You were just north River Styx. So it's funny. We go to visit each other. Like, I'm going out of town to go back into more heat. Why?
Right. Yeah.
Why bother? Let's see. We got afternoon, guys. Hey, Jamie, how's it going? Yeah, the humidity doesn't help, Nick. I know that. So we got some people following, which is great. What is the purpose of today's? What do we call these? Are these podcasts? Are these meetings? Are these sessions? What do we call them?
I like to think they're just conversations. I don't really have a name for them.
That's good. If you don't mind, I'm going to come right back. Entertain the crowd. I got to go get my notes.
Oh, good Lord. Entertain the crowd. What can I say? Well, how you doing, guys? Today we're going to talk about wrestling trading cards, as always. It's good to be on here. I appreciate all the love I've received and Tony's received. I'm actually really excited that we're doing stuff with WTC again. I can't wait till we get the site moved over to the new server and we get re-going on the site, because Tony and I have some serious plans and we're really excited, and I feel actually quite rejuvenated. These little conversations, videos, whatever you want to call them, have been really great, and I'm excited and actually a little jealous when I see Tony on, and I really, it's just really great. And I appreciate everybody that's come on, as we get going. I mean, seeing Jeff on, David, Paul, it was great to see all you guys on. I appreciate the time you put into sitting down with Tony, and I appreciate all the time you guys have put into the hobby, because without you guys, it's really helped keep the hobby alive, and so thank you very much.
It's nice to see the interaction going on with people, especially online, on our Facebook page mostly.
Yeah.
But our Twitter page is kind of sizzling too.
Hey, I think you said it was over 50 now or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've only been on for like, a week and a half?
Yeah, it's growing.
We got 50 follows. Hey, one of them's the King Lawler. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I have my notes. I don't know why I left them out in the living room area, but I have them here. So I have a few things to go over. So, yeah. So basically today we're going to kind of rehash a little bit of what we've done so far. Some of our guests. What do you thought so far on the guests we've had? We have 3 guests so far. Like you said, we have Jeff, we had Paul, and we had David. Anything you learned from any of those three?
I learned a lot. I mean, Jeff in general, I like some of the stuff that he had talked about, his experiences with the trading card industry, talking about, the differences between WCW and WWE. I'm not really surprised to hear that one company is a little bit more laid back than the other. You and I have discussed in the past. I'm a big fan of, if you're going to have autographs, I prefer them on the card, not the sticker. I think it's neither, the wrestler actually touched the card. There's actually something to it versus, the stickers are kind of just cold, I think.
I thought it was it kind of hurt my feelings when he was showing the stack of cards and they're like all bent up and kind of like.
Well, I guess when you deal with cards every single day and you have the same card or all of them, it's easy to take them for granted, so to speak. David, I almost want to kill David. I'm going to tell you that right now, Dave. I spent some time on eBay over the last week, especially since you were on, and I started looking at cards. I started looking at autographs. I started looking at sets, everything. And I got to believe the reason the prices on a lot of this stuff is so high is because of David.
It really is.
Because of the 82 set. I mean, you look at some of these cards now, it's just amazing. I'm just almost shaking my head. I remember buying sets for $10, $15. I think $15 was a lot for a set. And I'm seeing $25 sets and individual cards. I went and took a look at the WCW Topps autographs alone. Some of those cards are well over $1,000.
Yeah.
I was surprised, like Savage over 1,000, Elizabeth over 1,000. I mean, I know these people are deceased, but even the average card I think was $250 a piece. So just kind of re-educating myself on some of these cards, I was surprised, and I was thinking this got to be because of David. When you go out and you go after the 82 sets, and you're seeing, the Hogan card that was autographed, went for 20,000, was it?
20 grand. Yeah.
So it has an overall impact on the trading card industry, especially wrestling cards. So I was impressed, shocked, almost scared, because I was like, there's no way I could get back into this hobby as far as, I mean, I want the cards, but I just couldn't do what some of these guys are doing, and it's amazing. Paul actually shocked me a little bit with hearing that Grimm, pretty big eBay seller back in the day, was a big part of his book. I really appreciate what Paul has done as far as the price guide. I think it's a great website. I really enjoy his website a lot. It's easy to navigate through. So I was really impressed with that. But in general, to have these three guys on that you had, I think was great. And I'm really looking forward to the future and seeing who else you're going to have come on as well.
Well, I've been trying to track down some people. I tracked down some of my old contacts from Comic Images. So I tracked down Alan Gordon. So hoping to get these guys to kind of commit to wanting to be on. I haven't actually opened up any dialogue with Alan yet, but I have started something with Ron Ferrari. Ron Ferrari was the editor for all the WWF cards that Comic Images put out. So I do have, I'm trying to get him to get on, but we'll see. I've got some names coming up. I've got one tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I've got tomorrow. I've got Michael Moore. Moore from PW Torch. Yeah, we're gonna have him on tomorrow night. I got my list of questions right here for him.
I'm actually quite interested to see what he has to say. I went back and I was looking at some of his articles, and I posted some, as you guys saw, and I'm curious to know where he seems to do a trading card post or article almost every other one. I would love to know. I'm assuming Mike's got to be a collector. I mean, as much as he posts or does articles about trading cards, he's got to be a collector. And I'd love to know if he is, what cards he's collecting. If it's more the more recent stuff, it's the older stuff. He seems to stick with some of the more older stuff. So I'm really kind of interested to see what his interests are when it comes to wrestling trading cards.
Yeah, me too. I actually have one of my questions for him is about his collecting. If he collects, I'm sure he does, and for how long and what specifically he collects. But I've got some good stuff for him, and I've got some other people that I'm reaching out to. There's a couple of Nick has been very instrumental in helping me get some names of people that he thought would be interesting guests to have on. So I just started reaching out yesterday. I started reaching out to some guys who run some independent federations that have put out card sets. What I'm thinking about doing is probably getting I like to have multiple guys on at the same time now that we have a paid, Zoom channel.
Right.
Maybe I can have them all on at the same time. They can all, plug their promotions, talk about their card sets, what inspired them to make card sets. Has it helped, them become a little more recognizable, on a nationwide, even though they're a regional organization? Just why cards, obviously. I mean, it's a pretty inexpensive way to promote yourself, really, when you consider it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just a lot of interesting guests. Looking for suggestions from people who they want to see. I don't know who else they want to see, but I think we're on a good path right now, I think.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. To bring people out, to have people have an opportunity to have a voice in the hobby, I think is great. Educating. I mean, I learn every time these guys come on. I'm always learning something new. Usually pretty shocked by some stuff. It's kind of talking. We're probably going to get to this today, but I was kind of a little surprised about the rookie card conversation you had with David.
Yeah.
I kind of figured he would take more of a stance on it one way or the other, but he really didn't. Me personally, I don't quite feel that way. I have a stance that I pretty much stand by, which is I feel like rookie cards should be designated to national releases.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should be regional, and I think it should be the wrestler, not the character. It should be the actual guy, that whether he's Kane or he's Isaac Yankem. If there is a debate anywhere, I think maybe it would be, could you have, let's say it's Glenn Jacobs. Let's say it's, Isaac Yankem was his first card. That would truly be his rookie card. But you could have like almost maybe a secondary rookie for each character if you really wanted to do something like that. It's a possibility. But I'm more of a fan of national releases and the first character that individual was in. That's how I see it. But
Yeah.
again, I would love to see a panel of people on here voice their opinion on it. But that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
like I said,
I love to have multiple on to talk about that, because it seems it's a hot topic now, especially with the rising value of cards. But
Yeah.
we were on top of that back in 2011. Even before then, we talked about it. And I was going through our Facebook page, which 2010, 2011 it came out, and looking at some of the old. We used to have a blog, if you want to call it that, or we try to write a blog like once a month called "In This Very Ring."
Right. I remember it.
Yeah, and we had we were talking about, and I think we only did two write-ups. That was it. And one of them was about rookie cards. And not gonna lie, I mean, it was pretty much a copy and paste with a little wording change from like the Beckett guides on how they view rookie cards. And that was kind of like, this makes sense. This sounds like the standard. The difference here is usually you have one manufacturer who has a license for wrestling, whereas in other sports, you can have multiple manufacturers having licenses for it. When Fleer was around, Topps, Bowman, the other team, they can all be putting out baseball cards. One doesn't put out a Ken Griffey rookie, until the next year or something like that, possibly. But it's an interesting topic to have. I agree with you. I mean, you and I are in the same boat when it comes to the rookie card talk. But I love to hear other people's comments and opinions about that.
Yeah, and like I said, the rise in the cards right now. I think what scares me on the rookie cards is what I've seen. I'm not just seeing wrestling trading cards being listed as rookie cards. Some people are actually choosing game cards.
Yeah, I know.
That I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not a trading card. That's a piece of a game. So, and I've actually seen some stuff that's been graded that actually has art's feet on it. And I would love to, I got to go back and find some of that stuff and show it to you so you can see it.
Yeah.
But I've actually seen a couple of those, and they're not even wrestling cards. So it's like, who is determining this? That you can just throw a rookie card, a designation on a game card, a game piece?
I'm going to talk to my buddy. I'm going to talk to my buddy Mark. Mark out in Garden Grove, because now he works for PSA, and he got an interview with them and got the job, and WTC got mentioned during his interview. Like, he dropped the website name, to which the interviewer said, "Wait, you guys wrestling trade? Yeah, we use that site all the time, to authenticate cards and stuff like that," which I thought was kind of cool. But I can ask him to poke around and ask them if they're actually using the RC on some of those cards or not. I don't know. Did you go mute on me?
There you are.
there you go.
Oh, yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him to see if he can poke around and find out if anybody there does do RCs, on the rookie cards. I guess I don't know.
I would love to know. I've seen some, and I think it's kind of scary in general. I don't know. Does the company have a right to designate these grading companies? Do they have a right to designate? Do they have the right to determine who's a rookie card, especially in wrestling? And then do they know what they're grading? I mean, some people are just, like I said, they're submitting game cards, and these are being used as actual, being declared as wrestling trading cards when they're not. So I'm kind of surprised when I see some of this.
Yeah, it's already they're talking about it right now on the Facebook right now. Like Nick is saying, so national release or worldwide release, because they say for Topps, they could have a rookie in a Topps WWE set, but that's only released in the United States. Otherwise, Topps UK has the Slam Attack cards, which is a game card. Again, they're gaming
It's
cards.
a game card.
Yeah,
Exactly.
where the same wrestler could be released as a rookie card in that set also. Topps tried to do that. They tried some sets a while back ago, trying to put rookie labels on them or future stars they put on there.
Right.
In a sense, I kind of also agree with David in the sense that, well, two things I agree with them. One, just buy them all. Just go out and collect them and buy them all. Who cares?
Right.
Which is the best advice, I think, anyways. But two, just kind of using it as, first appeared.
Right.
I don't think it's really, PSA does not designate wrestling cards according to Rob England. So it could have been another company. There's so many like CTA or, maybe Beckett. I don't know.
The next time I've seen them on eBay, and the next time I run across these, I'll take the images, I'll capture the images, and I'll send them to you. So that way we can see them, and that way I can kind of show people what I'm talking about. But they are out there. I have seen them. But yeah, it's a hot topic, and I guess it's more important to the seller.
Sure.
Maybe the collector, but definitely to the seller, because if they can designate a rookie, caption on it, then they can ask for more money, and maybe that's what's happening. I don't know, but I'm not a fan of that.
It's definitely a selling point for them. Yeah, let's see. That's good. Cool. Trying it. It's hard to do this on a tablet.
No, I get that.
Yeah, so I intend to have a whole episode, I think, devoted to just talking about rookie cards, and I'd love to have multiple people on that have hopefully difference of opinions. It'd be nice. Just to kind of just talk about it. That's all I care about. Just talk about it. We're not going to resolve anything and make at the end of this. So go, hey, that's how it is now. This is the new rule.
Right.
Is what
yeah.
It is.
I'm not saying that you and I have the right to determine rookie designation. However, that is our opinion. It's my opinion, and I feel like it's worth putting out there. And I'm curious to see what other people have to say as well.
Yeah. Chuckster says Topps released 2 different sets and had a rookie designation for Asuka. I can't even pronounce her name. I don't watch the current products. I don't know who she, but I know who she is. It just said in both sets, they put a rookie card on her on 2 different sets.
Jesus Christ. See, then I would have to decide that just based on that, it would be the set that came out first would actually be the legit rookie.
Yeah. Rob England says, collect what you want. I don't mind game cards. Wrestling doesn't have much to choose from.
Well, with that said, Rob's not wrong, and there are some really nice looking game cards out there too.
Yeah.
There
are. I mean, especially the new Top Slam Attack, stuff like that, is a beautiful looking card. They're really, they're a little busy for my taste in some of them, but some of the designs on them are pretty cool. But, I come also from the WWE Raw Deal background too. So that's a whole different thing. And I used to own a complete master set of that stuff before I merged it all into inventory. But that and then the old trivia game cards and stuff like that, I see those are getting, it gets a lot of views.
Right.
And that's one of the ones I think you're talking about where they're making those like rookie cards.
Yeah, I'm talking about the little ones. Yeah, they're yellow.
Yes.
I've seen the yellow one. Yes.
From the board game.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's that. And then someone posted recently, picked up remember that WCW Slammiversary card game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have those as well. And some of those put those as a first time on, trading card of someone.
Right. I have some, I think I have the, you used to buy them in a box. They're like the original thing I think came in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have a pack of those somewhere.
Yeah, I got
probably in the
those
bottom.
too. And then Rocky might be a card. Yeah, the Cardinal card. Yeah, Slam Attacks Reloaded. Nice, nice style. Yeah, some good stuff out there. These guys got some really good comments on the Facebook page going right now, which is nice.
Yeah.
Then there's what else were we talking about here? Yeah, the gaming cards themselves are just I don't know. That's why we kind of moved them into a different section of the site. We put them out of the trading cards and put them in gaming cards, which then
Right.
is a nice segue into the site now, which is you and I talked about if when we redo the page, we're going to stick strictly to just trading cards, or are we going to continue to keep adding those stickers in there? Are we going to add the gaming cards? I know it's not your forte for gaming cards, especially when it comes to raw deal stuff, but I have all the information already. I already have it in checklist format. So it's an easy
Right.
dumping over. It's like that. But if we're getting help from people like we were talking about, and there's people who actually volunteered to help, I think it'd be easier for us. Do we continue to keep that? Our categories the way they are? Do we keep a vintage area, a more modern area, a stickers area, a Japanese, a gaming area?
Well, I personally would like to streamline the site and not include stickers and not include the gaming cards. However, if there's a true desire to do that, if people are really wanting to see that, and since you already have that stuff, I don't. It's not going to be something that I'm going to really be interested in doing, to be honest with you. Maybe it's something you could be doing on the side to do it, but it's not really something I want to do. But I guess it really comes down to what do our users want. Do
Yeah.
they want it?
I think they do, because obviously they clearly like to collect everything besides just your traditional trading cards.
Yeah.
They like the gaming cards, they like sticker cards, they like some of these guys like even postcards, and that's where we kind of drew the line on that stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. I don't.
It's-
It's kind of where when we had the old vintage wrestling card archive sites, like they had everything in there. They had like calendars, and they had all kinds of different things on there that wasn't really what we considered trading cards per se. So I kind of draw the line there a little bit like that. But again, it's what they want. If there's somebody who wants to, hey, I have all the information for you. Here's the checklist of this. We'll just plug it in right there. Fine. If it's no work on our part, we'll plug it in.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to have to really do the research on it.
No.
I mean, our forte is wrestling trading cards. I just feel like not that I'm wasting my time, but the priority has to be the wrestling trading cards, and that's why I don't really feel the need to do or spend time with the other stuff. That's why the other stuff hasn't really been updated. I mean, even when I was working on the site, it wasn't updated that often because it just wasn't my forte. It wasn't really it wasn't what my heart was into when it came to
all
that.
those gaming card sections never got done. The only ones that ever got done were by me.
Yeah.
That
I
was
did
it.
a little bit. I think based on when you would submit it to me, you'd send it to me like, here, I got this, and I would put it up. But if I didn't get it from you, I didn't go out of my way to sort of, partly because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not a raw deal player. I don't collect it. I don't get it. Slam
Yeah.
attacks. I don't play it. I don't get it. So it's kind of hard to research something that you really don't get and you're not interested in. And I'm sorry to the guys that do collect that, but that's just kind of where I'm at when it comes to that. But I'm not opposed to it if people want to submit the information.
Yeah, we're getting people already offering to send us checklists for stuff like that. So we'll take it. Normally I don't answer live, but why not?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I should probably get rid of that. Using had my pseudonym on there. It won't let me do it.
I feel like there were some trading card sets released that did had postcards come with them, and I think we have them listed somewhere because it was like there were trading cards and there were postcards, and I feel like if I'm wrong, maybe it was one of the bubblegum, maybe the wrestling superstars of wrestling, the stuff out of New Zealand, maybe something had it. I don't remember what it was. And there were actually postcards that came with it. But I can't remember, and I don't know if I put it on the site or not, or if maybe I had to mention it in a blurb on it. I don't remember, but I feel like there was a couple sets that actually had trading cards, and then there were some postcards with it. It's just something I remember. It's just kind of in the back of my mind. I know it's part of something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of work to do on that. That's for damn sure. So, again, there seems to be an interest in people wanting to help, which I really appreciate that. And in the past, we were kind of more like proud parents, like this is our thing. We don't really want anybody to, try to tell us how to raise our kid.
Right.
But now it's like, listen, I got life to leads like that. So anybody want to take care of my kid who wants to babysit?
Yeah.
Heritage sets, box topper cards or hobby cards, postcards. Yeah, but they're trading cards. They're not just because they're postcard size, Chuck. They're still done in trading card format. It's not like again, it's a fine line. It really is. Because some of those, remember those tops, early heritage ones had those box topper cards. Because
Yep.
Chuckster pointed out that there were box toppers. Well, those were, postcard size. I get it too. And so were the old boardwalk cards too. It's like that. But they were
Well,
cards.
they had the photo cards that were released. I think WCW and WWF did photo cards,
Correct.
and we have them on the site.
Yeah. Comic Image put that photo card set. Yeah.
There's WrestleMania or
Yeah.
something.
But yeah, I mean, again, if people want it and they're willing to provide the information's correct. Because one thing we always took pride on too is making sure the information was correct. Just because someone said something doesn't mean it's actually true.
Right.
Because we find that out the hard way multiple times. But as long as information is correct and people submit it to us in the format that we want, or if I can find a way to make somebody an editor to come on the site and do some editing work, we'll do it. I think we'll do it. So we're talking way far ahead in advance right now because we still got a lot of work to do to get it over there. So I have a lot of work to get it over there first. So actually, that was one of my topics, was talking about stickers and game cards. I'm glad we covered that. Oh, we also talked about rookies. Oh, look I'm knocking shit off my list one after another. I know we posted recently about the emails. We lost that email account.
Yeah.
That hurt.
What I found funny about it, though, is like I told you the other day when I texted you, I went back and I was looking at my replies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my replies were from that particular email. So there's stuff there, but so somehow it got integrated. But the send stuff that I sent was there, but nothing else is back. Like I can't find the actual folder. I have a funny feeling some of that stuff that's saved on the side, that all the subject that you were reading on the other day, that was also integrated.
Yes.
Okay. So we did keep some stuff, but I lost addresses unless I go back through each of those emails and pull out the addresses of some of all those people. God knows. I mean, that's been what, 5 years, 6 years? How long has that been?
At least, yeah, 5, 6 years.
I mean, I've changed my personal email address since then, so I can only imagine how many other people have changed theirs too. But there is information there, but it did hurt, and we have to get that fixed so people, we don't lose people like that again, because that's
part of that's going to be moving the site over. When we move the site over, we have to set up into multiple email accounts like that. We'll have a true, David at Wrestling Trading Cards. We'll have a Tony at Wrestling Trading Cards. We'll have different ways to communicate. It's like that, and people can contact us through different forms. But I don't think we'll have a webmaster anymore. I think we'll just have, information at WrestlingTradingCards.com, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll get it all taken care of. So that was kind of a bummer to lose that, because we had so many people submitted so many cool things to us that we were in the middle of maybe investigating, or had checklists. Some of it was like the Japanese stuff, which is, as you know, such a pain in the ass to do. So we're kind of hoping to get that stuff back again one day.
Actually, it's funny bringing up the Japanese stuff. I actually did a search on Japanese cards the other day, and of course I didn't get any farther than I normally do, which is there just isn't much out there, at least not available to us in the U.S. So if there's somebody out there that's listening or sees this video, and if you're a Japanese card collector, we need you.
we
absolutely need you.
I can't even remember how many times that we've highlighted that and posted that on the message board back in the day, going, we need someone. If you're And the closest I ever got was when I was working at AOL back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I had a guy there that was from, lady actually there who spoke Japanese like that. She could read Japanese, and she tried to translate some of the cards for me. And then when I left AOL, we had that one guy we would see like at the Cauliflower Alley Club. We'd see him in different places, and he always brought the mats that he would have them sign.
Yep.
And he lived in Irvine, turns out. And he would try to translate some stuff for us every once in a while, but it became like just a pain in the ass to try to get, communicate with him and get it to do it.
the problem is, and I don't blame most people, those are like our US sets here in the sense that they're 300 cards. You know, those sets are huge. So to sit down and translate every card is a lot. It's one thing, you know, you're translating and you got to write it down. And, yeah, I mean, it's just so much. So I found bits and pieces of stuff. I actually have a bunch of stuff saved aside on Japanese stuff that I went through the other day. It's just a matter of getting it on the site. There's a lot there, but again, it's been 5 years, 6 years since I've even really gone through that stuff. And God only knows how many of those card sets have been released. New sets in Japan have been released. So I mean,
Chuckster says he's got some he can provide checklists for. You know, Nick says we should contact the wrestling card 18 guy. I think that's the wrestling card trading cards guy.
okay.
His name is Armand, and who may have or has information about wrestling Japanese cards. He said.
Okay.
So we have a lot of great connections like that. I mean, it's the difference between now and even 5 years ago. You know, 5 years ago we didn't have that kind of information really. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say too. You know, we had this conversation between you and I the other day. We were on Facebook. We've been on Facebook since 2010.
About there.
Okay. So, but even then, it was kind of in its infancy. Social media was really, we got on MySpace for a short bit, and then we jumped to Facebook. But social media was just really starting to take off. And then you and I kind of went dormant with the site, and so much has grown. But the information is out there. You have all these people, and now with social media, we can connect with everybody a lot easier than what we used to be able to. So hopefully, we can all work together and get some more of this information out and on the site.
Exactly. Yeah, I would love to do that as well. But it's just another list in the project.
Oh, yeah.
It's never going to end. As I told you, remember years ago, I told you, so I think I'm almost done. And I'm like, no, you're not almost done, David. Every time you think you're close, there's more shit to do.
Well, it was the wrong verbiage, I guess, not done. I guess what I was trying to say was, look, I'm current. That's what I was really trying to say, and that was my goal. Is always be, dude, I want to get, you know, if 2015, I want to be okay. I got everything up till 2015. Bring it on, you know. But like you said, it just never ends. And if Topps is putting out a set every 3 months, as David was saying, or not David, Jeff was saying, every 3 to 4 months, it's hard to keep up with because by the time you get almost all the information, a new set is being announced, and you're like, oh, here we go again, and it's just. And those sets are, you put a post up, I think the other day about, you know, what do you want to see in a set? You know, how big, the parallel cards. Yeah. I replied back saying that I'm not a fan of parallel cards at all. I personally find them to be absolutely useless. I think it's just a way for Topps just to print
seems to be a going opinion too. A lot of people are not fans of parallel cards.
It's too much. And it's not realistic to collect. And it's just, most of us, okay, I'd like to believe that most of us are happy with a base card set. And then you start jumping into the chase and the autographs, and that's fun to chase. But when you're chasing basically the same card over and over again, you're 3 levels, 4 levels of parallels, just because it's got a parallel notation on it, it's just, to me, it's ridiculous. And that's really what burnt me out. If you want the honest truth of what burnt me out, parallel cards burnt me out. Because I was I'm on eBay scouring for freaking images of parallel cards over and over again, and it just got so old and redundant. So it's like I would rather just, to me, I think one of the neatest things coming out right now is that Vince McMahon autograph card.
Yep.
I love that. I just saw that. I just thought, this is cool.
Well, it's not his first card.
No, I know it's not, but it's just neat to see that. I like kind of stuff like that. I like getting autographs, new autographs. Even if I don't collect them, I just like that. I think that's more fun to go after, you know, event used cards, stuff like that. I think it's neater to go after than trying to collect the freaking 4 levels of parallels.
Yeah.
Just an opinion, you know.
Totally. So. I agree with you on that. I have no, when it's done, when they're doing parallels, that's when you know that's under the sports department in Topps, because they treat it like a sport. If it was done as just a regular under the entertainment line, it wouldn't have a lot of parallels.
Right. Well, you know, was it TNA, one of the cards, they released a small set of cards where they were hair cards. And it has a strip of the hair from the divas and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. You know, something different, something exciting. I was like, oh, and there weren't a lot of them, so it's fun to chase after them and look for them.
You know where TriStar got that idea from? It's from a company called Juicy Honey out of Japan.
Yeah.
And me, I'm one of the guys that brought that stuff to the you know, they call it the lower 48 states, because Juicy Honey was an adult trading card.
Right.
what I also sold at the time. And so I had a connection out of Hawaii that would sell that stuff and get it to me in the States. So I was selling it at my booth at Old Frankenstein Collectible Show. And I did good with that. And they would have things on there like, a piece of the hair, but not up
Right.
here.
Right. Right. Right.
And they would have, they'd have a nipple imprint card, stuff like that. So I think that's where they got that idea from, because nobody was doing that at the time, with having a piece of
Right.
hair. Actually, I think I take that back. I can't remember the name of the company, but whoever put on an Elvis Presley card set had a piece of his hair on a card for Elvis
Oh,
Presley
wow.
card set. I remember
Wow.
that one done. And I can't remember what time but that was definitely before the Juicy Honey stuff. So
Who who was doing DNA cards? Wasn't somebody doing,
Bush card.
or no, um, wasn't somebody doing, or was it the cut autographs?
The cut signatures, yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of cool too. Taking like an Andre Giant signature off a
Sure.
check or something like that. I think that stuff is neat. I think they were doing that with Babe Ruth and the
Oh
sports
yeah,
side.
I pulled one out of it. Donruss did one, I think, called Americana.
Yeah.
Donruss or Upper Deck. I think it was on Donruss did Americana. And they had cut signatures from presidents, and I pulled a President William McKinley autograph out of one.
Oh, see, I think that's neat. That to me is the kind of stuff that I think Top should be doing. It's more unique. It's harder to get. That stuff I feel like would keep its value.
I think they did one. They did an Andre the Giant one. I think not too long ago. Topps released one.
Okay.
It was a one-of-one cut signature. I'm sure one of the guys can chime in and tell us. But again, it's a more modern stuff, so I don't know a whole lot beyond 2006, 2007. So.
Right. I mean, to me, when I see stuff like that, that rejuvenates me as a collector. If I were to pull that out of the pack, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Sting had face paint cards.
Right. Yeah, they had those in TriStar had those.
TriStar
yeah, the face paint cards. Yeah, and then they'd have the art cards with some of the wrestlers. I think it was Hardy had art cards, and
Lawler did some too.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Lawler did some. I think maybe Hart has some. Bret Hart has some. I'm not sure if they're any in the top set, but I think maybe some other stuff that he might have been involved with. Mm-hmm. The point is those are unique. Those are different. Those are something that I think collectors can get behind. But parallel cards, tell me how you're going to get behind a parallel card when it's the same card. It's just got a little different color to it. I just don't see how that's, I like those kind of things. So I would like to see more of that in the wrestling releases. And I think that rejuvenates and keeps collectors engaged in what's being put out there.
Rob England says that the problem with the Andre cut signature is that many people believe that it's a forged signature.
Why do they believe that?
Why would you believe that? If Topps is putting that out in a release like that and they guarantee us authenticity, wouldn't you have a legal case if you can prove that it was fake?
I would think so.
I would think so too.
I'd be curious to hear what Rob has.
Again, it's not unheard of. It's done in all the sports.
Right. Yeah.
And they've gotten caught. Hell, they did it with the Comic Images release for when they did the Superstar set. They had a Sable autograph. Mm-hmm. Just a fun fact for you guys: Sable didn't sign any of those cards. Any of those autograph cards you have from Sable, she didn't sign them. Her sister did.
Holy crap!
So none of those cards were signed by Sable.
Wow.
So there's that. But who's to say? I would imagine that you probably have a legal case against someone if you can find out that, hey, I've got this $1,000 autograph from Andre the Giant, whatever it goes for, kind of thing, and now I find out it's not even real. I don't know. That's another whole different topic, really. So, but speaking of autograph cards, I'm going to segue now into that, something different. Back to our site, and as you know, you and I together over the years now, almost 20 years now, have 100% taken on the burden of funding the site.
Correct.
It's been between the two of us over the years, it's been out of our pockets to maintain it. There's a monthly charge for it. We could pay annually, I'm sure, but I don't know why we've never stepped up to pay an annual fee on it. We end up paying monthly, which ends up being more money than it really should be.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it now for a few years, picking up the tab on that as well. But I mean, to me, I just still think it's just a we thing anyway. I don't give a shit whose card's coming off of. And that's a big problem coming forward when we have so much stuff going on. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. This has become my job right now, doing these videos and running my ValoCard site. My booking business, as some people know, um, you know, I book a lot of different celebrities. I work with a lot of different talent from movie, TV, and a lot of pro wrestlers I work with. And that's been shut down because of the COVID stuff this year. So I'm not on the road doing and making money doing conventions anymore. Um, I'm working around things to kind of bring different things to make money. But for the most part, I'm kind of shut down for 2020. So the disposable income isn't there for me to go out and really spend hundreds or thousands of dollars, to do a website kind of thing. So we're limited, which brings me to a topic that I want to discuss, which was done on some other sites that I follow and I'm a member of that are not wrestling trading cards, but maybe doing a donations type of thing from our, I wouldn't call it fan base, our member base of doing something where we can have like an annual thing where people who want to continue to see the site grow and continue to see the site run can help fund the site besides just us.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
No. Nice. It'd be nice.
And any money that's made is not going in our pockets. It's going into like just to fund the site.
Yeah.
I could find out exact costs.
I'll tell you right now, we are not getting rich off this site.
We're not getting rich. It's not even, I make more money collecting cans. And we don't do recycling here in Arizona.
I've never looked at my bank statement, and it had a dividend for WrestlingTradingCards.com. It never said plus.
Never says plus. Yeah, I've never gotten an actual check in the mail from a residual from WTC.
If you have, you're hiding out. You're keeping out on me because I've never seen one.
I've never seen one, even nothing. So
yeah.
Trust me, I would have used it all for the site. But
Yep.
I think trying to find a way to do donations, whether it be to the message board, once we move the site over to get a button gone. And I thought of a way to, and Nick brought this up to me in a Twitter message, which, was something that I'd already been discussing with myself, I guess. I don't remember if you and I talked about it, but I was going to be producing my own trading card line. And I had been thinking about doing this for a few years now, and going the route, maybe the route that like Leaf does, where I pay artists to go out and do artwork and then buy that artwork and then use that for trading cards. Well, I have a guy that will do that for me. As you know, at the Wrestling Guy store, which I don't think you've ever been there. Have you ever been there?
No, I've never been there.
What they do there is when they have their guests there, they have a thing called the Ceiling of Fame.
I've seen photos of that. Yes, looks very nice, and I know they sign it.
Yeah, so like you take a ceiling panel and you pop it out, or you replace it with another one. You get it at Home Depot. You can pick them up. Mom is online. Mom's watching. So they have panels you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever. And what he does is he cranks those things out the night before the talent comes in with a Sharpie and just draws those things out. And the talent comes in, signs it, and they put it up there. So what he's done now is he does some actual, like an oil painting he did. And I'm going to share with you the whole process. What I want to do here is I'm thinking to entice people to want to donate to the site to help the site run is offer them something. Just don't go, hey, give us money to help us run.
Right.
I'm okay doing that if that's what it takes, but I feel like I should give something to someone in return for their money. I have a non-autograph version and an autograph version of a card. Obviously, if you donate more, a certain dollar amount or more, you get an autograph version, and it'll be in a series of cards. We can do it over time. Be the WTC exclusive cards that you can collect. And here is the first one that I think we're going to be doing. As you know, I have a very good relationship with Nash, Kevin Nash. So he's willing to do, something for me if I need him to do something. He respects my passion projects. This is definitely a passion project of mine.
Right.
And I'm going to share with you, this would be the first card in the series. So the card front,
Nice.
went ahead and designed it. It, I can still change a little bit. I'm working the card back. So my friend Anthony painted this, and all I did was really add the box right here, the autograph. That's pretty
That is
much
a
it.
great look. That's a great looking card. That's a great looking card.
Now he has one. I also represent Kurt Angle for appearances, so he did one of Kurt Angle. I don't know if he was able to get me take a picture of it. This was a shot with his camera, by the way. They took overhead, and I edited it to make it look like a flat.
Good work.
We'll definitely do more. So I would do a version of this where there'd be no, right in this area, there'd be no box area right here. It'd just be a card. Maybe the WTC logo somewhere on it in the front. And that's it. And then the back would be like, congratulations. You have one back would be congratulations. You have a very limited WTC exclusive trading card. And then the autograph version would say, congratulations, you have an exclusive WTC autograph card. And this would be WTC 1. I think it's a nice thing to do to offer people.
Absolutely. You get something back for your donation. That's a great looking card. I'm really impressed by that card.
Yeah.
You said you drew that?
Yeah, he drew that. He painted it the night before, and then he finished up the morning of, and then he brought in. I had Nash at the Wrestling Guy store last February for their 6th anniversary event, and then I brought Nash in with Scott Hall this past October or November. We had him in there because they were in town, and it was kind of a last-minute thing. And then this year for their event, I brought in Kurt Angle this past February. That was matter of fact, that was the last live event we did before this whole thing, hit.
I think that's really a great looking card. It's really nice.
So I think it's kind of a nice way to maybe entice people who want to collect. And then obviously it's about wrestling cards. We are about wrestling cards, and
right.
maybe they'll want to donate. Someone donates,
why not?
Someone donates $40, $50, you get an autograph card. Someone donates $5, you get a regular card. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I think that'd be a great idea. I'm curious what the guys think, but you're getting something for your donation. I mean, it really helps. By the way, whatever you guys donate, really understand that it really helps us keep the site moving. As Tony said, it's a labor of love. We're not here to make money. We're just here to keep this site going for everybody. We just want to see it live just like you guys do. And honestly, I think that's a beautiful card. And if your artist is willing to continue to do cards like that, that'd be great. I think that's really a great card.
We'll share that again. Yeah, it's a nice looking piece. I really enjoy that. But things will be similar to that. So I can't guarantee they'll all be like that. But
right.
I think he did one from Foley as well when Foley was at the store. But I need to work with him. It's a little difficult to get him to get things done. He's a true artist in the sense that he just works on his own time. I really wanted him to get one done for me when I was working with Jericho. I had an event that I worked with Jericho in Atlantic City last year, and I was kind of hoping he would get me something, and I was going to go have it printed out, done right away, be my first card at the time. Never got around to doing it.
Oh. Well.
And we can continue as a series, keep it going.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Who's over there? Who's messaging you? Is that your mom?
No, she wasn't messaging me, but I was looking at the comments online, and it looks like some people think that sounds like it's a good idea. It looks really cool. And yes, there's my mom.
Yep.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. Yeah, so that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up too, the donations, and again, maybe starting a series of our own cards.
I like the idea of starting a series. I would love to see it continue. One and done is great, but I love the idea of continuous series. Definitely like that. That's a great card, and if your artist is willing to continue to do that for us, and with your connections and the guys that you've been working with over the years, it's actually limitless, to be honest with you, on the amount of guys you could probably end up having sign it.
And here's what I would end up doing on those, by the way. So I'll bring it up again because I want to be able to show what I would do here. So what I would do here on this is this is an autograph version. So for an autograph version right here, he would sign the box like normal. And then I would actually to keep costs low, I'm not going to go have a foil stamping of any kind on this like that. What I would do is just
Right.
put on there, manually go in there, we say, I'm going to limit these to only 10 autographs. That's it.
Hmm.
Or he'll only sign 10. So it'll be 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10. It'll be printed on the card, not written on the card, but printed on the card, and then sign them, and that's it. I might do a couple unnumbered ones, just as like kind of a little, maybe one for you and me. I don't know. And then a non autograph one would have the box gone and have the WTC logo on it, and those won't be numbered.
Right. Okay.
And I'll maybe print off, however many, maybe. I don't know how many to print off, but the costs on them aren't that expensive anymore. As you know, I've done some printing stuff for the whole raw deal thing that we won't want to talk about now, but it's just, it can be done. Technology is different than it was, 10 years ago. So a lot of these guys are printing out their own sets.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're going to soon be adding to the site. So,
yep.
What's the difference? I mean, we should do this. I mean, it's what we are, a Western Trading Card site, and if it's a way to help generate some money to keep the site afloat, I think it's a good idea. And I think based on that card, it's not a cheap-looking card. That's a good-looking card.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking artist rendition of Kevin. So
yeah, Nick, I sent the image over to Nick a couple nights ago. I took a shot of it on my laptop, and he had some good things to say about it too. He thought it looked better than the Leaf product, he said. But I'll talk with my friend Anthony about it and see if I can get him. And I don't see him doing more than one a year, kind of thing.
Right.
As we do, but if we do more than one a year, great. If not, every one of those cards would be geared towards donations.
Right.
And outside of covering our costs on it, if our cost ends up being $50 to produce how many cards like that, who knows? Then we get our $50 back, which is in for the site. And then the rest of the money just goes right to paying for the cost of the site. I anticipate that the site's going to run, and once I talk to GoDaddy about it, the way we want it done, it's going to run us about somewhere between $300 and $400 a year.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range. So if anybody wants to donate now, that'd be great. Just because I don't want to max out credit cards, but
right.
But I just want to see the site keep growing, and in order to help us kind of, and also as a peace of mind too, because a lot of things like, wow, part of the reason of not getting so quick to moving the site over is because of the costs, and the costs right now are a little much, I think. So again, I won't know.
Right.
As soon as I can get on the phone with GoDaddy, it's less than an hour wait, then I'll be happy.
Right.
But I haven't tried since then, to be honest, but I might have called it a bad time. I know they're all working from home like everybody else is, so they just got to wait till someone's available. But I've had really good luck in the past with them as far as getting somebody who was willing to really help me and get me to move the site over and all that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of hoping to get somebody again who's like really willing to go like, listen, I'm going to help you from step A all the way to step Z, man, and get you going.
It would help.
It would help. But yeah, I mean, there's that. How about you like the little post I made the other day about where WTC came from?
Yes. Yeah, I was surprised to see an image of ComCollect. To be honest with you, you said you found it on your computer? Because I couldn't find anything about ComCollect online. I mean, I see it's a dead site, but to see that brought back memories, Tony. Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh.
So this is the original website that archived wrestling cards. In addition to, obviously, we have, we got Buffy, we got Playboy, we got Star Wars, and we got wrestling. And that's what I collected at the time. That was what I collected at the time. And it was just a site originally just to kind of be like a fan site really about what was coming out. Actually know where I found this? I went to a website archive site. I went to Wayback.
Oh.
Went to wayback.com. I think it's wayback.com, wayback.org, whatever it is. I went to Wayback and typed in ComCollect, and boom, this came up. In addition to things like, let's go back to, let's go back to this one. Do I have it? Did I save it? I didn't save it. Let me find it here in a second. But I did go and I found an old layout of the site that I thought was kind of funny, to be honest with you. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Share, share, share. Oh, I already had it. An asshole. It's an old layout.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So above this here, it was more, all the new releases coming out that time that we knew about. But then there was stuff down here, gaming sets, and then you had your regional sets and premium sets and wide release stuff over on the side. And the columns, or the columns page went to like an old form where it would have like a post, and then it had like a little line and that responds to it, and then line responds to it, and then line responds to it. And
Yeah,
had
I
like
remember that.
yeah, remember that? So
Oh
that's
yeah.
what it was all about. And so I was kind of tackling everything. And then, as I said in the post, I had a couple of guys that knew nothing about collecting. And they're trying to build me a database when I had the grand idea of covering all of non-sports. And I was going to do a price guide, like the first online price guide of non-sport cards. And I did not realize what I was getting myself into. And we would literally have evenings where I'd get over there like at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'd leave that place at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Back when I was a
I
smoker,
remember you telling me that.
we'd sit there and smoke all night and this and that, and just go through, and then trying to have we had a flow chart on a whiteboards like that of how things work. No, this is what a Chrome card is. A Chrome card, can you just put, I had to teach them all these different things. They knew nothing about trading cards or about collecting, the market, nothing. So building a database with them was really difficult. And I have it somewhere on a CD someplace, I think, the old site, but I don't know where it's at. So when I found that, if you go back to way back and look up ComCollect and look in through the years, there's a point where it no longer has ComCollect what it was. It has something where one of the guys that was helping design, it went on his personal web server. So then it became like for his stuff. So like, oh, here's our family album and of his family. So, but then ComCollect went away when I got the domain for WTC, went away, and I couldn't get it back because we forgot to re-register the domain name. So somebody who was interested in partnering with me, instead of partnering with me, went and stole the domain name behind my back and rerouted all the different links to his website, which I believe was like Global Pop Culture, I think it was called. So he thought that ComCollect had built up a name for itself at the time, that he would get all this traffic to his website to buy things now. And since then, the website doesn't go anywhere. It's a park name. I think you can buy it for like $2,800, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he owns it still, but never did it. He just continues to keep re-registering it. But his name was Bob. What an asshole. I'm sorry. But so there was all that going on. And then it became WTC. That's what it became. I said, you know what? I just refocused myself on what my real passion was, which was wrestling cards, and it became WTC. And that's where it is today. That was fun. I don't know even why I looked for it, but when I originally found the graphic, it was just those 4 cards, which, by the way, those 4 cards, how it worked was those 4 cards, if this was my early days of trying to build a website. So this is a logo. And then this was part of it. This was all, and this was done using a program at the time called Fireworks. So what it was this, taking Photoshop, layering it out, and a card on top of a card, and then through Fireworks, you can go here and all this, like all this Buffy card, you can click on it and go right to the Buffy section, and that became a link. And the Playboy, that became a link. So it was really weird. I was learning how to do HTML stuff at the time, and then using a little bit of Java when it first came out, and then trying to teach myself how to do stuff. But I had a guy when I was working at AOL that was showing me how to use certain apps, and he's like, here, take this. And he gave me this disc of like some sort of, and I never used it. It was a program for special effects that they used on Babylon 5 TV show.
Oh, jeez.
Like $30,000 in like a software program. And I go, should I have this? To which his name was Ricky. And I remember Ricky goes, well, shouldn't you? Yeah, Chuckster, like, he had subscribed because back then ComCollect was a subscription site, $5 a month because I thought like, I'm going to make some money off of this, man. I want to have like the first online price guide. And Chuckster was one of the guys that actually he paid. And because guys like him paid, I'm like, I gotta produce results. I gotta continue to keep going. But I was working on it, David, all the time. Because after my AOL days, I didn't need to work. I made good money at AOL. I got a good severance package. I didn't really need to work at the time. And so I'm donating, like, I would literally put 8, 10, 12 hours a day just entering in information in the database, and I burned myself fucking out.
Yeah, I could see you doing that. Yeah.
And I just got tired of it. I just couldn't do it anymore. Oh yeah, Chuckster says that he printed out all of the restyling pages from his old ComCollect before it went away. He printed them all out. I'd love to see those, actually. He should take pictures of it and share it. I'd love to see those. He did all the wrestling pages. I'd love to see that.
Well, that's how you and I met. I'm pretty sure we met through Complex. Somehow I was looking for cards. It was the Wonderama set. I was looking for singles, and I got directed. Somehow I got directed to ComCollect. I don't know. I think you had a free, maybe you had a free message board on it or something.
I did have a free message board, and it was free at one time.
Yeah. And so I ended up on it, and I remember being free, or maybe you gave me a membership.
I think I might have given you one.
Yeah, and I just remember going through it, but that's how you and I met. It was actually through ComCollect. That's how we met online, and then that's what started our friendship. Actually, was that site. But I felt bad for you when it went away, when you lost the domain name. I remember,
yep.
And I actually felt bad for you because I knew how much time and effort you put into that site, and I remember how passionate you were about that site too.
Yeah, that was
your baby.
It was difficult, but at that time, I had left AOL, and then I took time off, and then I got offered a job at, I don't know if you remember it all, that iTradeCards.com.
Yes, I do remember that.
They took me in saying, oh, well, we want your AOL programming knowledge and your knowledge in the trading card world, and put you to work here and become our lead guy here. I said, well, I don't think you can, you can't really afford me based on what I was making at AOL. So I remember his name was Jim Weiss, I think his name was. So Jim took me to go meet his dad. His dad was the one who was financing this company. So his dad owned his company that, I don't remember the name of the company, but if you were an executive, a CEO, a COO, somebody in a high in a company for, like, say, Ford Motor Company, and you wanted to change job, looking for a job in a different company, he would help you get a job for another CEO position type thing. That's what he would do.
Oh.
So they had a lot of money. So I remember going seeing his office in Irvine, California, and he took me over there, and I had a meeting with him, and just him and I'm a little, like, nervous. Okay, what's going on here? I'm in this nice office, all this expensive stuff. He's got his little picture of him and his new Jaguar on the wall. I mean, how else? I mean, it's different things. And he asked me, he's like, well, what were you making there? I told him what I was making. He goes, done. That's what you're making here. I go, that was easy. And to work with trading cards? This is like a dream come true. Am I sleeping? And I quickly realized just how fucked up of a company that was, and how too good it really was. Too good to be true it really was. Because it didn't take more than a couple weeks before it all went downhill. And I literally got myself fired. I begged to be fired over the phone while I was in Vegas at, I believe it was at the CES show. I was at CES, and I was in a parking lot at the Rio. And I'm over there just pacing back and forth in the parking lot, forcing Jim to fire me over the phone, just so I can claim unemployment. And he fired me. And then I had to have a police escort to go in and out of the building to get all my belongings out of there, because I had all my notes from all the programming stuff that I did for AOL and tried to integrate that into their stuff. I made sure I wanted to get that stuff back so they couldn't take it, which they tore pages out of it, and I could never get it back. But he made all these wild accusations like that, so he had a police escort me in and out of that building to get my stuff. And I remember Brent, my friend Brent Davies, who was the one that was working with me on that database, I brought him on board to work at iTrade, to work on their servers. He was there that day when I was being escorted in and out. I just thought it's funny. So he gets to keep his job, the guy I brought on board, but I'm getting whatever. So it was a horrible experience, but I remember that site trying to, they bought the name, I trade cards, I trade sport cards, I trade adult cards, I trade wrestling cards. They bought everything for the, to try to integrate as one house. They had this grand scheme and it was a nice idea, but when you have a guy who all he cared about was like using that connection to get free stuff from manufacturers, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where then WTC really took, like, fuck this, I'm doing stuff on WTC, then it's going to be all about that. And I really wanted to buy the name WTC, but as we talked about before, World Trade Center couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at, and I'm happy that we've gotten some good interviews so far. Hoping to get some more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what you got coming up. So,
what are you interested in seeing coming up as far as, like, is there anything, any names, particular sets, topics?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
I'd like to see. I would like to see a conversation on these indie cards. I'd like you to get some guys in that are doing them. I did a research the other day. I found AAA. There's AAA wrestling cards out of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I never knew those existed. Just did a kind of little search. I'm sure some of the guys are going to hear this will probably jump into that, and I encourage that.
Oh yeah, I already have that.
Yeah, they probably do. I knew nothing about it. So it's nice to see some stuff about Mexican trading cards out there.
I'll tell you one thing that bothers me about all this, by the way, is that getting back involved just drives my passion to want to collect again a little bit, but I have to really, really control myself because I get a little bit jealous when I see people's collections, because I remember what I used to have.
Yeah.
What I had at the time, there weren't a lot of guys in the world that had what I had at the time. And there's some things I think that some guys still don't have. But there's a lot of stuff out there. And now I see what these guys have and the passion they have, which is great. That makes me kind of go, damn, I'm really jealous of them.
Yeah. I know. I mean, it's kind of funny. My collection stopped when I stopped working on WTC because it was really no point to go further with the collection when you're not really working on it. And I know how you feel. I see stuff out there and I'm like, damn, I'd love to have that stuff. Or then I see it's like I found a set that's kind of neat, indie set, and it's sold out.
Yeah.
And you're like, So
you find the secondary market for $500.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. And that's kind of what gets back to the whole thing with David. It's like, I mean, you kind of look at the price of these cards, and I'm just like, holy crap, these are just so expensive. But I say that just because I'm a cheap bastard when it comes to that stuff anyways. I always look for the best deal. I never,
No need to worry about that, Nick. The site will still be up during transition. Nick commented saying that the side note was his concern was that when we transfer the stuff to the new site, that he didn't want WTC to go down and then we have no access to the info at all. I'm hesitant about doing what Chuck did and print everything out from WTC, but that's going to be a lot of printing and ink, LOL. No, don't worry, man. We're not going to, the site's not going to go down. Basically, what's going to end up happening is there'll be two versions of the site, basically. There'll be one that's currently up. Once we have enough information over to that one, we can start migrating it all over. So that's kind of why raising money is important, because not only are we going to be having to fund one site, we got to fund two sites temporarily until we get enough information on the new site to say, okay, we can start removing things from the old site.
And I think what you're going to see initially on the new site when it opens up, correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to see checklists. I don't know how fast you're going to see images up, because that's really what's going to take most of my time. So the idea is to get everything transferred over, get the checklist back up, and all the information, and then as we go, we'll start putting the images back up.
Yeah, transferring checklists, really, I believe is going to be as simple as copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste.
Yeah.
It's the image, like you said, the images, connecting the images is going to be the hard part. That's going to be the time-consuming part.
Yeah, so that's one of those.
And I'm thinking that we talked about it too, about also not doing them watermarked probably.
Yeah, I don't.
Because going forward, it's going to be a pain in the ass trying to mimic what we did before and running that program. Because as you know, it's a pain in the ass to crop and edit all those images.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of described it a three-part process, you know. And if I can do away with the watermarking, that would help.
Sure.
There's so much of it out there, I guess, that is it really worth it to watermark anymore? I don't think
No.
that it is. You know, we never really claim to own. We don't own the images per se. They're not ours. They're WWE or whatever company put the cards out. As we kind of said, people were throwing our checklists up, and they were linking directly to our checklist pages off of eBay. And I'm not as computer savvy as you are, but it was causing something with the bandwidth or something.
Yeah, we were losing because you're allocated so much bandwidth on
Yeah.
your site per month back then, and every time somebody was linking to us on their eBay auction, it was sucking up our bandwidths like that.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. For that, what I was concerned about was that they were just copying and pasting. It's like, well, can you at least get a little credit where you got the checklist from? Be kind of nice.
Right.
And I think 9 times out of 10 people were pretty compliant with that.
Yeah, I'm just not going to go. I don't have time to go through and police eBay auctions.
Yeah, I don't either.
If you're going to steal the stuff, you're going to steal the stuff. I mean, if you're going to start a site, I mean, it's not going to stop anybody from starting a site and just literally copying and pasting everything we have either.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you feel the need to do that, hey, all the power to you. At the end of the day, people know where the stuff is coming from. So that's up to you. I mean, since Tony came to me about doing this, I've spent some time online, and I've run across other sites that have checklists and stuff, and so I know the information's out there. It's just a matter we just want to get it all in one location. Nobody has as much as we have, dating as far back as we have.
No.
You can find it on different sites. You can go to probably 15 different sites and get everything we have, but you have to save and go to 15 different sites. Whereas we're just trying to be the place that's just all in one place, and that's.
And we're strictly about information. We're not selling anything.
Yep.
We're not going to be offering anything to anybody, or we're not buying anything. Because the number one thing we always get through messages all the time was like, how much is my shit worth? And I want to buy this set on your site.
Yeah.
Well, it's not for sale.
Yeah. People don't, I mean, we've never had anything listed on the site. I've kind of been a little shocked by that, but not that we're not selling anything. I've always been shocked that people don't recognize that there's no price on it. There's no, you don't see a dollar sign next to any card or on any set. And then, we have people asking us, hey, can I buy your stuff?
Yeah.
So, I've always been a little surprised by that because we've never said, hey, these things are for sale.
People just see information, they click on an email, it's like that, and it's it. That people don't read.
Yeah. So, but I mean, and as Tony said in the past, especially in Paul's interview, that, we refer people to Paul's site all the time. I mean, I used to constantly, I'd get, how much is this worth? You need to check out the site. Here you go. Here's the link. Yep. And that's what we would do. So, and that's what we'll continue to do. Mm-hmm. Paul is, to me, I know Beckett has their price guide and this and that, but I'm always going to refer people to Paul.
Yeah.
And then if people want to use Paul and Beckett and whoever else, that's great. They can do that. But my number one person I'm going to refer to is Paul, and then people can go from there. So, but I think what you're planning on doing with the Nash card, the autograph, I think is a great idea. It's a beautiful card. It's something that I would love to have in my collection. I'm sure other people will as well. And if we can do this yearly, or maybe a couple times a year, whatever it may be, to generate a few dollars to help us with the cost of the site, it would be great.
Yeah.
So I think you're onto something, and I think it seems like we got some pretty decent feedback about it today. So
my next step is to design a card back. So if anybody out there wants to help out with that too. I mean, I tried it. That card image I did was from a little over a year ago. Mm-hmm. So you're talking February of 2018.
Well, to be honest, if you want my honest opinion, that's Nash's best look.
Yeah.
That look that he had when he was in WCW in 97, 98, the long flowing hair, he looked big, and to me, that's the look I've always preferred on Nash anyway. So I think it's a great look for him. I think it highlights him, and I think it'd be a great card. So having WTC1 on it, whatever you're planning on doing, I'm sure is going to be perfect. I mean, you've done very well with that stuff in the past, so I think it will continue to be good. So
maybe we'll even have him on as a guest one day to talk about it.
That would be cool. Absolutely cool. Let's just throw that out there. Hint, hint. It would be nice. do you have, with your history and the things that you've been doing in the industry, working with celebrities, working with the wrestlers, that'd be awesome. I would love to know how some of these guys feel about being on a trading card.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'd love to have, Lawler was the first guy, one of the first guys to start following us on the Twitter account. That like the first day, within the first couple of hours, we got it.
Yeah, that's what you told me. Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome, And but I didn't realize what a collector he was. I didn't realize there was a card set that he put out in '83 for himself.
What set was that? Did I miss something?
There's a card set for Jerry Lawler from 1983.
Really?
Yeah. Nick has all the details on that.
Oh, I'd love to hear about that. That'd be really cool.
And I'd like to talk to him about that and other, his artwork that he's done for Topps, things like that. It'd be great. Yeah,
it would be really cool. Who knows? Maybe we could get some of those images from that 1983 set, huh, Mr. Lawler?
That'd be nice. Just
so
we can let people know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen anything on eBay, so those must be in very small quantity, but that would be really cool. That'd be
my understanding. If I'm not mistaken, I mean Nick will know better. It's like that. If I'm not mistaken, they were regional to. Rob England has it too. He says he has them.
Oh, Rob. If you don't mind, I would love to see those. That'd be cool. And if we could get front and back 9-pocket sheet scans of them, that would be even better.
Which, by the way, I've got a list of questions. Speaking of Mr. Rob England, just learned about it earlier this year. That was a Lawler set. Yeah, he learned about this. I have him on my list of people I want as a guest, by the way. I've been messaging him about trying to get him on as well. And then I don't know how to pronounce his name either. Steve, is it Tomke or Thom? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm really sorry.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it either.
But you know who I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
From Vintage Wrestling Card Archive.
Yes.
So I love to have him on as well. I think he would be a great resource and as I say, a plethora of information.
Yes. Yeah, he had a great little site there, and he had a lot of information on it, and I think he would be as well.
Which is funny that he put some kind of credit to us for WTC, but I think he's a site that became an inspiration for us, actually.
Yes.
Not the other way around. He puts us as an inspiration for him, and I think it's the other way around. I think it's he is the inspiration for WTC, actually. Unless he might be talking about ComCollect. I don't know. But I think ComCollect might have been around maybe a little before him. I'm not sure when his site first came out. But his site has so much information on it from back in the day. And it was like, man, I just want to see – I want to see cards, though. I don't want to just, read a long list of cards all from that given year and then have a break and then, it just keeps going and going and going and going. So he was an inspiration for his site. I'm assuming it's his site, though, too.
I would assume so, yeah.
But I'd love to have him on to talk about what got him started and, his collection, because he seems to have a pretty impressive collection, too.
Yeah, I'm assuming that most of that stuff is in his collection or a vast majority of it. But I don't know. Some of these guys that you want to bring on, all of them, not even some, all these guys that you want to bring on, I think are
his last name is Rob says his last name is pronounced Timke.
Okay, well then we need to get Mr. Timke on because I'd love to see what he'd have to say.
But I don't think I'd love to have Rob and Steve on together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great 1-2 punch right there. And yes, he said yes, it is his site.
No, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you have something to do with the Wonderama stuff?
Or mine.
Mine.
Yeah, I don't know if he had something to do with Wonderama.
Because I feel like I had a conversation with Rob or an email passed back and forth with Rob about his knowledge with the NWA Wonderama stuff.
There's another guy I want to talk to, by the way. His name is Alan Maynard Jr. Alan was the guy that originally he offered me all the Wonderama product at the time, including the cells, the uncut sheets, everything, and I passed on it. That was in early 2000s.
Okay.
And I
maybe that's who I'm thinking of, because I don't know. I have talked to so many people over the years that a lot of it's kind of all gelled together right now, but I'd love to get these guys on because I know there was I want to say it was Rob that I was talking to about the NWA One Drama stuff, the test market run, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Alan. But again, I would love for you to get these guys on and have them on here so they can, uh, spread some knowledge as well as what they have. Because these guys are bright, they know their stuff, and
They sure
and
do.
I really like to see them on. So
They've done their homework, and I think these are the most reliable people that you can get information from on this stuff. So,
and I'll admit it. I mean, my knowledge on cards is what I research. So I sit there and spend hours and hours on the site or on sites researching cards, and I go through all this stuff just to find the most reliable information and then try to, put it on our site so we can make sure we have the most up-to-date and accurate stuff. So,
Rob says it.
Robert's saying,
yeah,
maybe about the test market run. He's
Yeah.
probably right. I remember seeing on Steve's site about the test market run, and then somehow at one point it just finally showed up on eBay. It wasn't on eBay for a long time, and then all of a sudden there was several test market runs that showed up on eBay. And that's how I got mine.
That might have been through that Alan Maynard Jr. guy. So I was going through my old AOL emails, like all 50,000, whatever it is. I haven't checked that in forever. And I did have a folder just for him about the Wonderama stuff. So I have some information in there that I can probably go and refresh my memory on. But he was definitely the guy that I was talking to back in the early 2000s about it. And he wanted to sell me a bunch of stuff. And he picked it all up, he said, for, I don't know, a few $1,000s like that. It wasn't a whole lot.
I mean, without opening up that checklist, I'm pretty sure Steve, Rob, Alan, I think they all brought to light that there were some error cards in there, some test market run stuff. I mean, between the three of them, I think they're all responsible for it. So, but I don't know. For me right now, I think my passion is still going to be the indie stuff. So any of these guys that you can bring on and talk about indie cards, whether they're the most recent stuff that came out, some of the older stuff that we never discovered that maybe somebody has sitting in their collection. Again, the Lawler stuff, to me, that's the stuff that I really am interested in. The WWE stuff doesn't really do a whole lot for me, only because there's so much of it out there. I like finding the stuff that's just not very known. So I like hearing about stuff like that.
Actually, that Wrestling Trading Cards Twitter page, I guess that's can't remember where I got it from. Anyhow, I was given information to talk about, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys that I've been referenced to talk about their promotions and their indie stuff, and see if that helps their market, regional promotions. Yeah, it's some great topics. I reached out to a guy named, calls himself The Brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I texted him, I messaged him, but he hasn't responded back. He was the creator designer of the PWG cards when they came out, which some people believe was what sparked the whole indie trading card stuff.
Oh, the PWG stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did it. Give me a second. I'm thinking about this. It was the Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah, Bola.
Yeah, Bola. Yeah, he did it one year, and those cards, I guess, went on eBay and just exploded on eBay. They were very expensive.
And he's gone on to do GCW and AAW Pro cards for them as well.
Hold on a second, okay?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember who gave me this information. I think it's, I believe it actually is Wrestling Trading Cards. That's who gave me the information. Yeah, Wrestling Trading Card 18, or Wrestling Card 18 gave me the information. That's some good stuff right there, man. Good stuff. But yeah, I hope to reach out to these guys. I hope some of you guys can put me in contact with some of these indie Fed guys who are aware of it. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Rob, let's talk about that too. Make sure you can get us some images. That'd be great. Once I get the email stuff set up, I'm hoping that you guys can start submitting the information there. I love to get the information on there, and then we can start going through that. And it's not only just trying to catch up with the new stuff, but even trying to get the information on some of these older ones that we haven't done in a while.
No, I don't have any of that PWG stuff, but what I do have.
I got a friend who has a whole set.
Oh, do you? Okay. I've seen it online. What I do have is what I got something here recently from Martin D'Amato. I don't know if you can see these.
Oh, okay.
These were sold at his convention, 2018, the one in Charlotte. I don't know how
Okay.
good you can see these. But
Yeah,
these were called Superstars of Squared Circle Trading Card Series 1.
looks very similar to Greg Price's on this one.
Yes, yes. So this is a 21 card set, I believe. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, 21 cards are in this set.
Yeah, Rob had messaged us on here saying he would like to highlight the 1981 Poppy set. Only 17 cards with figures. That set needs more awareness, and a 1981 Hogan first appearance on a trading card too.
Yeah, the Poppy set, isn't that out of Japan?
I believe so.
Yeah, I remember something about that. Remember there was, just as we stopped updating WTC, the big thing was collecting all of those Japanese trading cards out of magazines. That became a real big thing for a bit.
Like I'm trying to find out where this came from. Like this one, I'm trying to find out where this came from. Oops, come on.
I can't see that at all.
Damn it.
Oh, the Raven one.
Yeah.
It's an ECW card that came out of Japan. I just don't know what set it came out of, but yeah, I've seen it online. I think we have it on WTC somewhere. But what I was getting at was there was I brought to light a lot of old magazine cards. There was a couple magazines that had actual cutout trading card right on the front of them.
Yes.
And those were popular. I think the All-Star cards, something. There were several cards that came out of magazines that we were a big part of presenting to the public. And then we stopped updating the site. But I remember those things were like, you could get them for like a couple dollars on eBay, the magazines, and then they exploded because everybody was picking them up.
Yeah.
And cut out paper cards, and
they were, but they had other ones we got out of Mexico too, I thought.
Yes, those are Record Lucha magazines and Guerrero del Ring. And as a matter of fact, the other night I was bored sitting in my truck, and I found a site that had several of the Record Lucha cards on it. The problem is that the guy didn't have a checklist. He just had really nice images. So I have images to several of the cards that we don't have on the site that just don't have a link. But then there are several more cards there that I don't know what their numbers are, but I do have images to them now.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, this, again, like I said earlier, doing these little interviews, these conversations, seeing you do stuff, it's kind of lit a little fire on my butt. So I've been kind of, slowly getting back into researching some stuff. And that's why I'm really excited for you to move the site over, because then I almost uploaded the site back onto my computer the other night. So I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to start this yet.
I went into the file manager for the first time in probably 6 years. Because I noticed that the webmaster, Tony, for the message board had a broken link to its image. Its avatar.
Oh, okay.
So I went in there to go find the link, and I found it. It's like that. I go, oh, there it is. There's a file. Oh my God, there's so many files in here. It brought back a lot of memories, and then so I linked it.
I went through, and I think on the file manager, I went through and made sure all those files were like organized, made sure that everything had its place. But there's a lot of stuff. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And I went through the other day, like I told you, I went through and I was sending you stuff. I opened up my personal files and could not believe all the stuff I have still.
Oh, I know. And then you shared with me for the first time after all these years, your own personal checklist on where a set was at in the process of like completed yes, no.
Yeah.
Like, damn, pick the right guy to do that shit. That's for damn sure.
Well, it's thank you. It was one of those things where I had to do it. There's so much stuff. If you don't make a checklist, you don't know where you're at. So that's what I did. I made my personal checklist. I knew exactly where I was at in the process. So, but I hadn't seen that stuff in probably 5 years either. That's why I forgot I even made this stuff. I was like, holy crap.
There's a lot of cool stuff, man. It was there's a lot of stuff there. So we have rambled quite a bit today.
Yes, we have. So I think I'm good to go.
But, I plan on doing something like this where we recap some of the stuff, obviously a shorter because we had other things to discuss about talking about the website and donations and things like that. But we'll recap like maybe every 3 or 4 guests, kind of see
Sure.
what we took from it. It's like that. I always want to have you on anyways. I mean, you are the backbone. So without you, we're just going to be reminds me of Cow and Chicken. You remember that cartoon, Cow and Chicken?
Mm.
My daughter sent me an image the other day about Cow and Chickens like that. And one of the characters on there was Boneless Chicken.
Oh.
Which was like his nephew or cousins like that. He's just like a blob on the ground, it's like that. And I go, without David, we'd just be boneless chicken. So, yeah, always appreciate it, man. So, yeah, we'll do another one soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait to dedicate some time and start working on it again. And I think everybody will be really excited once it gets back up. So,
even an hour a week doesn't sound like a lot, but you can get a lot done in an hour.
Oh, absolutely.
I know it's just hard because we have lives, we're married, kids, the whole bit's like that. But your schedule makes it difficult too, because you have a really hectic work schedule. But we'll get things started here. So I might even be giving good old GoDaddy a call today.
Sounds like a plan. Keep me posted, man. Hey, everybody that's been watching, everybody that's been contributing, I really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't have this fire lit on our bus again. So I appreciate everything. And keep chiming in, keep sending your comments, and thank you. Thanks, buddy. It's good to see you again.
Good seeing you too, man. We'll talk again very soon.
Yep. Bye.
Later.